Okay, little Francesca the Fiat here. We're still experiencing some sadness. We're going to try to remedy that. But it's probably not going to be easy or cheap, because why would it be? But I'll tell you about that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver, man. Little Francesca, the 1250 here, was doing dandy until the starter decided no more. And we took it apart and we found sadness. And then what happened, and I don't think it happened on camera, but off screen I broke a spring, which is just barely hanging on and homemade. So I bought a new one. We're gonna have to home make that to try to make it work. If it will even work, I don't know. We're going to do a lot of cleaning to it and see if that makes a difference. The sadness of this sad story of sadness is that the replacement starter, 12 volt style, $600 and some. And that really blows the big one, you know? $600 for a freaking starter. Uncalled for. However, what does one do when you're in it this deep? Don't you just keep going, you know? Had I known that was going to immediately quit, maybe I would have bought the 24 volt starter. Maybe I would have put it back that way. But I ain't doing that now because, yeah, we've already got her rigged up for 12 volts, and that's the way she's going to be. And I did, however, I guess this has nothing to do with the starter, but it's a continuation of our story. I did today finally receive some pieces that I located, namely an original water pump, used variety. It's pretty tight, it does turn, but you know, if worse comes to worse, maybe this is something a guy could have rebuilt. Interestingly enough, I think this pulley is different than the one that I ordered and had that extra pulley. I don't know, but here's the cover. You know, like I was saying, and it has the bolts for our air cleaner in it. Looks like he cross-threaded that one, because why not, you know? Crooked is just as good as, you know, the right way. But whatever, this is something to sit on the shelf and not worry about, because we've got it rigged up this other way. And I also went ahead and I bought me this. Now this tractor did come with a grill. However, I think this one is slightly better. I do not have the upper piece. I don't think that will probably exist. My neighbor in his tractor collection actually bought a 1250 last year that has it all. So I'm going to try to go over there and copy his grill piece. His tractor doesn't run though, it's locked up. So if I could do that, potentially got me something here. It is kind of rough, but so's the other one. That's why I bought this. I didn't see this on the picture either. It's missing this chunk. This is all fiberglass. So I'm hoping if I go to the old auto parts store, I can get me one of those repair kits and just make me something to go in here and hope for the best, you know. Sand it maybe lightly and paint it. I don't know. I know nothing about fiberglass. But I would say that a coat of paint wouldn't hurt it. I mean, if we did the right preparation, you know, preparation H, maybe. This was a dumb design. I don't know why they went fiberglass, but, you know, we should have known that's not going to hold up. I mean, what are we thinking, Italians? Come on. I'm going to put this stuff away, and then we're going to look at the starter again. I need to find my wire wheel on the drill, because that's going to play a big part into what we're doing, I think. But like I said, let me move this stuff and then, yeah, I'll bring you back. Okay, well, what I really needed to do was find the cordless drill, which I can't seem to see. That's odd because it should be close by. But what I'm thinking here is, this obviously is not good. I mean, it's still gonna need a replacement at some point. But I was really hoping that maybe I could coax it into working a few more times, you know, maybe until crops were out and such, and then put her back together. The little copper brushes, they look not bad. I mean, I think a little cleanup on them would do good. That's all good. I broke the spring on this one leg of this Bendix puller outer job deal. You know, I think that's probably backwards. Yeah. Well, no, is that right? It's obvious when you're in there, because then you'll do that, you know, and flip it out of there. But it's got to pull it backwards, and then, you know what I'm saying, pulls that out, and it's got to be in such a way you can see there's notches for those springs to hook in. But I couldn't find one that short, so I'm gonna have to take the longer one I got and try to make it go. And that's kind of got to be done. You can't put this in without that, because it's got to go up through the hole in here. So it's kind of a process. And I think I will work on it a little bit without the camera, and then I'll bring you back whenever I figure out something that might make us, you know, make this happen. But I'm going to take time and try to scrape all those grooves out and just go about and do a general cleanup of this, clean up the inside of the case, and maybe I can get it to put out a few more times, you know, before we say our separate ways. So sometimes that trick works, you know, not just with starters. But anyway, I'll bring you back here in a little bit. All right, I should probably be a good YouTuber and do a progress update, but I got the end of this thing shining like a brand new penny, and I'm working on this right here. You can kind of see the difference. Now, by the time you see this, the first part probably hasn't even been out yet. And I know this is future, I guess, past, future prediction that you will see in the past from the future. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but you haven't even seen, well, you have seen now the video that precedes this of us taking it off and looking at it the first time. However, I have not put that video out, so I haven't read your comments because they don't exist yet. But what I'm saying is, I guarantee you there's people going to be saying, the thing has got a shorted out winding in its junk. I know that. That's more than likely what's happened, and this is a futile effort. Like, this is not probably going to work at all. But isn't it worth a try, just to see if it would another time? I mean, it did spin on the bucket. It just didn't have any power, apparently, to turn it under a load. So maybe by some stroke of luck, it will work. I did clean one of those starters, original style ones, like off of that 1355, and I got it to work again. So there is a chance that this might work. And no, this is not like an off-the-shelf American starter. This is another Marelli starter from Italy, and I don't know if a guy could figure out what kind of 12-volt car this came off of. It'd probably be, you know, something, but I can't do that. The cheapest one I can find is $487, and that's with shipping from Germany, and who knows how long that would take to get here. And it says it will be assessed customs, so I'll probably have $600 in that one anyway, so I'm not gonna do that just yet. We're gonna try this and see what happens. Okay, it's back together. Bench test. Will it live? Well, it kicks it out now. It feels a little bit healthier than it did. Is that enough healthy? I don't know, but we're fixing to find out. So back out to the tractor we go. All right, girl, let us love you. Come on. We have done everything we could to try to save your life. And repay us by being ungrateful. I also, did I tell you about the other day, I got another carburetor too from a different place than I got those other parts, so that's pretty snazzy. I figure we'll probably need it because of that JB welded fuel bowl, so that was mainly why I bought it. But we have to have it running before we can worry about carburetors. It's just another one of those frustrations, you know? We had this perfect little thing. It was working great. We were putting it all around here. That was my goal, to get it runnable, drivable, to where I could not have to worry about it. And then, you know, I could put it in a different shed or move it around out of the way and work on it as I had time. And it just decided all at once that it wanted all the attention, you know? And I hate that. I mean, it's a cute little tractor and it's fun to drive, but I'm starting to see why we had all the hatred in our hearts for these when they were new. I mean, if it started acting up, doing goofy stuff right away, you'd be over it too. And then not being able to find parts, I have a feeling was probably about the same back then as it is now. It looks so innocent. How can it hurt us so badly? Let's not forget the battery cable this time. You remember that screw up from the last go round? It was pretty stupid, wasn't it? You betcha. See there, I almost forgot that. I don't really like this layout of stuff, but that's the way she falls, so it would be better to be however it's relaxed than to try to, you know what I'm saying. All right, back away slowly. Gentle. Good girl. Let's start, okay? Let's start and run. Let's have this problem behind us. I have to put you to the hood because I don't have enough hands. Okay, baby, come on. Aw. Well, that really blows chunks. There, I hear it try to drag. That is terrible. It just, you can hear it just roar, like it's trying to grab and go, but it just doesn't have the guts anymore. And that really is bad. What else could it be, you know? It's not the battery. We had good 12 volts to it. I guess when we put it under a load, it could be going bad, but I had the jump pack on it and it still didn't make any difference. I guess we could do the jump pack one more time now that everything's cleaned up and see if we didn't just have a fluke the other day trying to use the jump pack, but I don't think so. 12.2 it shows. It tried, but it just don't have it. It just don't have it no more. Well, now would be a good time to cue up that song, but it's probably unmonetizable. But imagine that playing in the background. In the arms of an angel for only $1. If all of you subscribers would send $1, you could save poor little, whatever her name is, Francesca the Fiat's life by giving her the life-changing starter she needs. Yes, and I'll put in some pictures of 1250s crushed and mangled and bent, and you'll feel so sad that everybody will buy a new starter, you know, for just pennies, you know. But no, that doesn't really work. It really is a sad affair. That stuff costs what it costs. It's ridiculous, okay? A starter that's $600 is stupid. There should not be such a thing. Starters should be, this should be like a $57 starter, $57.85 plus tax, and that's it. That's all. Maybe overseas shipping of $5, but it's nuts. I mean, and I'm sure that it's not just here. I'm sure it's all around the world ever since that magical time when the whole world shut down, you know. Stuff is just out of hand, and this is a good example of it. I mean, I don't know. And I watch the videos on YouTube of these guys working over in, you know, all of the sand countries, and they can take something that looks 10 times worse than this tractor, and they can hammer on it. No precision, just hammers and a bent piece of rod ground off to a square so their socket fits, and they overhaul the motor, and they don't clean, you know, they clean it up with like water and soap, and then, you know, they give it a paint job, and at the end they have a brand new tractor, and they sell it, and they're on their merry way. And I'm trying to do it using the best stuff I know how, and at every turn it bites us right square in the Knudsen, and that is ridiculous, you know. But there's nothing I can do other than just bend over and take it, you know. The next time I can swing $625, I guess I'm ordering a Canadian-Italian starter, and I don't know. I mean, I'll take this into the starter shop, but I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, look at that mangled piece of garbage. It's useless, you know. So the moral of my story is sadness, as usual. I mean, we were getting so close. We're down to basically cosmetics. But then little Francesca here decided to throw, you know, a monkey wrench right straight into our timing gears of sadness. And now we have issues. So, sure, you know, I'll probably get somebody to help me pull start it, and I'll move it somewhere out of the way because I'm sick of looking at it. I can, you know, take the sheet metal off and do it as I have time or whatever, but it is depressing, is what I'm saying. You know, why is it always one small step forward and 18 steps back? It just is one of those things that never ceases to amaze me. Granted, this thing was a piece of garbage, you know. I started with next to nothing. But I thought we were over that hurdle, and we were getting closer to something that we could, you know, enjoy. But apparently not, you know, apparently not. So I guess I'm just going to leave this one here for now. Because like I said, I got stuff of other people's I have to work on. It has to happen. I got to get this crap of mine out of the way and start doing that other stuff. And then I don't know what to do. I wish there was about 10 more of me so that I could just get this stuff done and move on, because there's other things I'd like to be doing. But such is life, I suppose. I mean, it's a peculiar thing how you can go a long stretch with nobody bringing anything for you to work on, and then at the last second everybody brings everything, and it's just a very frustrating affair. But such is life. I guess we're used to it by now. Then you compound that with all of the extra chaos that's been going around here, and it's just a lot to comprehend. I don't know. It's sad, but that's the way she goes. So I guess we won't see this for a while because, like I said, I got other fish to fry. I did get, like I said, another carburetor. I got a hose to go from there to there, so we could, started yawning, but we could potentially clean that up and have that air cleaner thing totally done and clocked right have our hose cut so that it's ready to go. We can mess with carburetor later. We have to now, because if it don't run, you can't really tell if you did anything. But sheet metal should not be that difficult, other than maybe a sanding. It's gonna have to have a coat of primer because of all the layers of nastiness on it, and the top is super rusty. So we'll have to do that. That piece needs some welding done on it because it's got a brace tore off. It's got extra holes the guys drilled in. We're gonna have to try to spot weld those shut. The hood has a few little rough kinks in it. I suppose I could try to buy the hood off that parts tractor, but is that really worth it? I don't know that it is. This one isn't that bad. It just needs a little love tapping, and then that would be solved. Fiberglass grill, yeah, that's gonna need some attention. And then the headlights, that'll be probably that'll be a lot of hours right there on its own. But yeah, I mean, we're on the downhill slide literally on this, and then it let me down. So we'll figure it out. We always do. But I think I just ranted for like 15 minutes about how miserable everything is. But that's the way she goes sometimes. So I guess we will call this one here. I don't think we accomplished much of anything other than just verifying that our life is miserable. So we'll try to track down some parts, and then we will bring this little girl back at some point in the future. But we got bigger fish to fry right now, and so that's what we're going to work on. Do you suffer from low intelligence and are easily entertained? Well, then hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment, and that way we can keep making entertainment that your feeble minds can understand. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.